am Desiree Cocroft with Make a Difference Wisconsin, Program Manager for the program, and just wanted to share with you some other best practices for volunteering with our program. So sometimes you might find yourself in a program or a classroom that is not as engaged or maybe a challenging classroom. So there are a couple of things that I do when that occurs. So if I find that students aren't engaged, and usually not being engaged, sometimes they're not paying attention or they're really quiet. Sometimes people get a little chatty on the side. So sometimes I engage the group of students that might be talking and ask them a question that I think that they would be able to answer about themselves. And usually I ask questions that might have to do with their personal lives. Sometimes it's, are you going to school? What grade are you in? Are you involved in something at your school? Sometimes I ask, do they have a job? Do they have a bank account? I do my best to ask questions that would be personal for them, but somehow I can draw the conversation in about finances. So as I get them talking, because they're already talking, I can eventually get the conversation to go in the direction I would like it to go to, which is about financial literacy. And so I find that to be something that's worked out a lot. And then in other best practices, I've talked about giving out candy. And so another thing that I've used, if I find that a classroom isn't as engaging, sometimes I'll do candy for random things rather than waiting for the business cards to be turned in. I'll start giving candy out based on some things that, people that are paying attention are doing. So if they're answering questions or they're finishing one of the activities up early, I might hand out candy to be an incentive. Other times I'll engage the teacher. A lot of times you'll find that a teacher will be very helpful in engaging students when it looks like they're not being engaging. And in some challenging classrooms, it could be hit or miss, but a lot of times I'm able to, ask the teacher to help. Sometimes I'll just call out on them out loud, and so that way that they'll kind of use that as a cue to start helping out. So those are some things that I use to help get classrooms involved that may not seem involved. But overall, I think asking questions, especially ones that are not rocket science, but questions that kids can ask about themselves, and just finding a really great way to kind of streamline that into something about financial literacy is a great way to get people involved again.